Oh no, we are back again. What's up, everybody? I'm your host. This is off the post. Theme music? Theme music? There's no theme music. All right. So we are back again, and this week we are doing something a little bit different. We decided to do a team spotlight, and the team we were looking at nationally first is the champions, because why wouldn't you look at the champions? But if you look down below me, we have a couple new people here. I guess we should go down, let them introduce themselves, and not you, Krista, only the new people, and, and they can tell go down and tell who their favorite player is in and so forth. So, Tala, you can go first.
What do you want to know?
Yep, you're on now, sir.
Okay. What do you want to know? Hold on. I didn't hear you.
Just tell them your favorite player, what
Uh,
teams you like your favorite women's team, and something
mm,
about. I guess you can tell them about yourself. If you're single or something. I don't know.
uh,
Just go on.
Paula from Seattle. I'm a Rain fan, also a Sounders fan. My favorite player on Rain would probably be Little. Just watching her is like watching a musician at work. It's amazing. And I just love soccer because it's beautiful.
Thank you, sir. And now let's move to our specialist of the day right here, and tell them a little bit about yourself. And
All right, I'm Danielle. I'm like the 309 on almost any social media you might go on. Obviously, a FCKC fan. I'm part of the Blue Crew, and my favorite player is Becky Sabron. I love Brune, and yeah, just love Kansas City. I actually live in Iowa, but I love any KC team, and yeah, there you go.
good enough, good enough. All right, so first things first, guys. I'm going to go over a little bit of the UC, the Women's Champions League, because that was the big thing, and some of the fans actually wanted me to talk about that. Well, this is the problem. Every time I click on the link, it usually kicks me out of it, and I can't watch the game. So I can give you some scores. I can tell you a little bit of what I saw. Today, Rosenberg versus Wolfsburg, and Wolfsburg ended up in aggregate. It was 4-4. They say it was actually a good game. I wish I could have saw it. And Wolfsburg went through on away goals. The other game was Brondi and Linkopings, I believe. Yep, I butchered that. Brondi went through an aggregate. So then PSG played Glasgow, and I was talking to a Glasgow fan who went and actually saw the game earlier before they went back to France, and he said he knew the team was going to lose and stuff, but it was real. Like, I enjoyed watching it because Glasgow played with a lot of heart. So more props to them for even actually going out in the field with PSG and giving it their best. So in the next round it'll be Wolfsburg versus PSG, and tomorrow I'm guessing this is the Frankfurt game, which I'm guessing we'll try to get a link and it'll fail as usual, and the winner of that will go and play Brandi. So let's get to the questions, I guess, ladies, and actually a gentleman on here with me. All right. I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about the history of FCKC. In November 2012, it was confirmed that a Kansas City-based women's professional soccer team had been accepted into the NWSL. The KC ownership group is composed of Chris Likens, his two sons Brad and Greg Likens, and Brian and Budzitsky. I'm sorry, Brian, I ruined your name too, probably. Their first
Close.
regular season. Close? Thank you. All right. The first regular season game was against Portland, I believe. That's
Yep.
what it says on Wikipedia. That's what it says. And they said it was a 1-1 draw. And then their first year in the league, they went 11-6-5 and ended up second in the league. This year, as we all know, they were number one in the league because they won the championship. And they beat Seattle 2-1. And I'm guessing you were able to go and see that, Danielle. How
I
was it?
was. A bunch of us Blue Crew was able to go out there and see it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great atmosphere. They had, band and lots of fans. We got our own little section, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a good game. So I really enjoyed it.
Nice, nice, nice. It's always fun watching your team actually hold up the championship at the end of a year. So that had to be a
Yeah.
very, very cool thing to check out.
Yeah, we were
This,
behind the bench, so it was even better to watch our team, like, they knew it was about to happen, so.
the anticipation was even the best. Nice,
Yeah.
well done. It's cool you got to see that. This year, you guys are moving to a new stadium. You want to tell us a little bit about that, how it looks, or?
Yeah, so our first game's actually at Sporting Park, which is where Sporting KC plays, and it's going to be amazing. If anyone's in KC, you should come see it, stand up with the Blue Crew. But then after the opening game, we're actually moving to Swope Park, and that's going to be our new home. I've seen the field, haven't been inside of it or anything, and it was in the middle of January when I drove past it. But it's a beautiful pitch. It's grass, which is nice because we played on turf in previous years. And it's going to be a fun atmosphere. And luckily for us, with tailgating, we can have beer. So yay!
It's always a thumbs up for all of us who like a nice cold beverage.
It's fun for tailgating.
It's fun for tailgating. Isn't that right, Krista?
Yeah.
Didn't sound too enthusiastic about that, but nonetheless, that's a story for another time, Spirit fans.
Oh God. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, they know, but these
Throwing me under the bus.
You know, I didn't actually throw you under it. I just kind of backed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's actually go over FCKC and not our personal lives. We're going to start with the team's overall performance last year. We'll talk about so Tala, this is your first show, and you got to talk about a team that beat your team. How did you feel FCKC performed last year, though?
From just watching them over the season, I noticed they look like the most deepest team. Like they have players out, but they were still stepping up. Even though they were behind the rain most of the time, they looked most consistent team. How when rain, they were just grinding out results. KC was usually like beating them down by 2 or 3 goals.
Yep.
And in the final game, what I noticed was they were all bigger. Rain looked like little kids being next to them. Just had that size advantage.
Yeah.
They really just couldn't get the ball. They're out physical. And they had a good game plan going to the game. And they just, they played a better game and got the cup like they deserved.
Right on. Well, at least you gave them their props. I like it. Krista, what do you think of FCKC last year?
I mean, yeah, they were, consistent going back and forth with the draws and the wins and the losses, and then they had that nice little win streak in the middle. The final, though, yeah, Seattle was not their best, I don't think. So KC definitely deserved the win. So.
Danielle, I guess it's your time to brag. What did you think of your team last year?
Well, I agree. But actually, last year, we kind of started out slow. At one point, I think we were like 7th or 8th on the table. So we definitely had a slow start. But then when we got consistent and got going, that win streak you're talking about, it really started going how special that team was. You knew it was going to go far. Near the end, we had a lot of injuries going, so it was a bit nerve-wracking. So luckily we wrapped up home field early so we could give people like Barney and all that a rest. And then we ended strong, that Portland semifinal when we beat them, and then obviously the championship game. So it was kind of slow, and then bam, we just found our groove right there in the middle. And it was fun to watch, and it was great because we actually went undefeated at home, a lot of draws and then a lot of wins. So as a fan, it was great because we didn't actually see our team lose at home.
Yeah, watching you guys, you could just tell how, I felt like you were, because everyone just felt like Seattle was the beast and was going to walk through the whole league. But you guys seemed like the team that would play them hard a lot of the games, and when you guys did play them. And like you said, that little stretch in the middle was a nice little 7-game win streak.
Yep.
Seattle, they beat you guys once, but then you got that draw against, and that was a good game. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
One. And like you said, it seemed like the team really came together at that point in the season. And like your players, like Holiday, she had another solid season, 9 goals and stuff. And that also leads to Amy Rodriguez's first season. Now, what do you think, Danielle, about Amy Rodriguez, who just looks simply amazing to me every game?
Well, A-Rod's great. I mean, I think we all knew she was going to be a great player. I don't know. Personally, I didn't expect her to have this great of a season. And I don't know why I didn't think that, but, she bounced really back. She bounced back really fast from her pregnancy. And we didn't really think, wasn't sure if she was going to get into shape that fast. But once she got going, especially that chemistry between her and Lauren, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
Krista, what did you think of A-Rod's return?
Yeah, definitely did not expect her to, like you said, bounce back that quick. She had an amazing season, so I think it was really good for her confidence and stuff, and it definitely drew a lot of attention towards her and her play. So,
Tala, what you think of A-Rod and the whole Kim Little goal scoring back and forth battle? Did you like that?
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And she came out of nowhere, but I always knew, whenever we saw her, she was usually the fastest player on the field, and
Yep.
she was always one of the fastest players on the national team when she was on before her pregnancy. But when she came back, I knew it was going to take time, but I didn't know it was just going to be that fast. I think a lot of defenses they kind of got surprised by that too, and I just want to see how she does next year if she does come back and play that back and make sure it shows us it's not just a 1 year thing, and she can keep doing it. Because that's one thing I haven't seen from her is consistency yet. She's good in a lot of places. I haven't seen one thing she's great at, but I think she uses all her physicality the best way she can.
Agreed. It was funny because I really wasn't a big fan of hers before the pregnancy, and then when she came back, it was just so amazing to watch. I was like, wow, she comes back and she looks like a totally different player, like better player. Like you never seen her, like you said, like amazing at one thing, but always good at everything. And it's just like last year, some of those goals, I didn't even know she had it in her. It was so fun to watch. I was like, now. And then I became, I became more of a fan because of that. And then I was like, she has to start on the national team. She has to start in the national team. You know how we all march and push for that, but that's a story for another day. So,
I could talk a whole hour about that one myself.
but a little bit of A-Rod. I believe it was 16 goals in 24 games, if I was correct. That's what my notes tell me. She had an amazing run, scored some beautiful goals, a joy to watch, and like I said, wasn't really much of a big fan. But now let's go to players who stood out or who kind of hid in the bushes. Let's start with you, Krista. Who are some players that stood out for you with FCKC? Yep, Becky Sarbrun. You can go and say it. Yeah,
Yeah, Brune. I mean, Timrack, obviously, and A-Rod definitely, pulled their weight and did an amazing job along with Holiday. I mean, I feel like, Holiday was, I feel like she was a lot better in 2013. She had 12 goals in 2013 and only 9 last year. So it's definitely good that A-Rod came back as strong as she was.
Gotcha. Danielle, who stood out to you and who didn't stand out to you this year?
For sure. And, the great thing about Lauren is her chemistry with A-Rod, so it made up for it. But who stood out for me, actually, it kind of hurts to talk about. Cassie Coleman was a great player for us. I mean, she was amazing. So Boston better treat her right because she's a special player. At the same token, Jenna, who's not playing with us, Jenna Richmond, she had a solid season with us. And then, of course, A-Rod. And I'm going to say Becky every time because she's my favorite, not only my favorite player, she's like one of my favorite people. She's great. And then in terms of underperform, I'm kind of blinded by my love of my team, so it's hard for me to say. I think, and this might be a little controversial, I think in a way maybe Timmy underperformed, Erica Timrack. She always is phenomenal. I think she could have been better. She had a great season. I don't know if it was to her full potential. So she was great. I think she could have been better.
Now with her, like you said, it's weird because, like I said, even if it was like maybe a down season for her, like I said, I see so much potential in her that I could just see her as just like a future, star for some reason. Just because just the potential on the field is amazing, and I can agree with that. I can understand that. And like I said, Becky all the time, you could always go with that. And a lot of your fans I've talked to have said they liked Jenna. They said Jenna Richmond was just like an amazing player for you guys. They really feel like they'll miss just because. So I guess she was a fan favorite too then, because everyone talked highly of her. Everyone talked highly of her.
Very nice, great family, and she's quiet, but she's consistent. So hopefully, I'm hoping it's just a year off. She's supposed to be, I think she's getting married this year. Hopefully she comes back next year, because I really love her, and she was great for our team. So.
Tala, who stood out to you for FCKC?
I'd say one of the people no one talked about is Sarah Hagan. She came in mid-season, but out of 9 games, she had 4 goals and an assist. And she's just a tall figure, and just add to the already physical team they have. I think she's gonna be great next season. And like she said, Timrack last year she kind of underperformed, but I think her and Hagan will have a breakout season this year, hopefully.
Yeah, I've noticed everyone's high on Hagan, and I didn't know much about her too much until I actually read up on her a bit, and she just seems like she's I guess now she'll have this opportunity a bit while the main girls are away for a national team. She just seems like she's a goal scorer
She
from what I
is.
read at Bayern Munich and stuff. And like, what were you about to say, Danielle?
Oh, I was going to say right what you said. In Germany, she was phenomenal. So.
Yeah, and it's just like in her college, like I think what was it? She set the what was she like 5th or 6th of the NCAA record in goal scoring, I believe it was with Sarah Hagen. It's in here somewhere, but yeah, she's just like a goal scorer, and it's just I mean, I guess I should rate her a bit higher, but it was like I didn't pay her much attention. I remember when she got her call up, and then I was just like, oh, okay, well that's cool. We got another striker to call up and stuff, but I mean, I guess she's someone that's really now she's really going to get the chance to stand out a bit more. Also, actually, someone I got to learn more about was is it Jen Buchkowski?
Butzkowski.
Buchkowski.
Buzz. We call her
Buzz.
Buzz. So just say Buzz. It's easier.
Good old Buzz. A lot of them when I was reading more about her and talking to a lot of fans, they said that she was a good veteran leader, reliable, played 26 games, 2,312 minutes, and just a solid rock for you guys at a defensive mid. And like everyone's just said that they love her out there. You know, it's a good one of your players, like one of the underrated or players that are not talked about amongst a lot of people in the league. But they say she's like a big impact player for you guys. So.
She's phenomenal. How she never got a call up? Well, you know why she's never been called up. I don't know.
Now that's an interesting thing because she's a center defensive mid, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So couldn't she why wouldn't they call her up over Shannon Box?
I don't know.
That's now we're gonna talk that another week too. That's very interesting. But you guys got a ton of new players that I guess you can throw in. What type of role or impact do you think any of these new players can have? We'll start with you, Krista. What new player on their team do you are looking at to have a big impact for them? Because they look stacked to me this year, FCKC.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll do really well. Hopefully, with the national team players gone, and give a few others a chance to show what they've got. Morose. I don't know if I'm saying that
Moros,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be really good for defense. And then I'm really looking forward to seeing Groom and kind of seeing what she's all about. And then obviously they got Dines too, which will be cool to see her play. Hopefully she'll get more minutes there than she got in Seattle, because I know 2013 was kind of rocky for her with them.
You said that's Dines, correct? Tala, what about Dines? Do you know anything about her really? How was she for Seattle?
I didn't really get to see her play.
Yeah.
Whenever I went, she was always on the bench. But when I did see her play, she always was composed on the ball. And whenever she had the ball, she knew what to do with it. She was never like panicking or anything. And she always had a way of slowing down everyone else and calming them down, just knowing she knew what she was doing. And that's just something you can't teach, I guess. And they brought in Hale this year, which I think is going to be huge. Because just the energy she brings, no one else can bring it. And everyone just builds off her, kind of like Sanchez and Arsenal. Just like their pace and just the way she works.
Yeah, and I think that pickup was it almost threw me for a whirl when I saw they had that. I was like, imagine her lined up on that that attacking midfield of players. It's just I mean, just to watch, like you said, it is like Alexi Sanchez. Just she's just gonna be up and down the field, just devastating. Danielle, who are you looking forward to?
Well, there's I think we got a lot of veteran, whether it's trade or signed. We've talked about Shea Groom. I just feel like she's going to have a breakout season. Yep. I'm really bad at watching the youth teams and college teams, but everyone has said she's been great. I haven't heard the latest roster, so hopefully she's still on, but if Jessie Ayers makes the team, I think she's going to be great. Everyone said she was the underappreciated one in the draft. She's from a smaller school. Most people haven't heard from her, but everyone I've heard who has watched Colorado College has said that girl's special. So I'd like to see her play. So.
Very good. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit more about Ayers later, because when I seen her, I was just like, wow, it seems like she was undervalued and underrated by a lot amongst people. But, yeah, Shea Groom, that's one for me too. I mean, 41 goals, 25 assists for a career in college, 15 game-winning goals. And in her senior year, she was ranked third in the nation with 7 game-winning goals. So she's a goal scorer. She's going to be putting them in the net, and hopefully she'll get her playing time, and then hopefully they'll find a way to play her out there. Yale, I don't think we've even mentioned her really too much.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, she's the one that had she set a record for starting every game, setting the all-time record and an NCAA record with 105 consecutive starts.
And who is this now?
Yale, and she
Oh,
had
yeah.
32 goals and 29 assists with UNC. So
just a solid rock that you know could be reliable, be out there if you guys need her, no matter what. Like I said, we mentioned Dines, O'Reilly, Moros, Roland. We haven't really got to, that's going to be interesting to see her. She set the NCAA record for career shutouts at 55, single season shutouts 19. Krista, what do you think of Roland? What do you think impact if she gets a little playing time here or there?
well, I mean, yeah, I think we talked about it earlier. Definitely want to see her get some minutes. I know it's going to be difficult, with Barney there, obviously. But yeah, hopefully we get a chance to see her. So I'm really excited to see her perform in club. So.
And another UCLA product, so you can't beat that. Lucky FCKC there. Drafting, like I said, to me, their drafting has been like some just top of the line. Like they always seem to pull a gem out from somewhere, just a good player. You can throw it right out there in the field and expect it to just shine or whatever. So I mean, I feel like you say, Groom's going to be potentially a good one. And then if we're looking at our players you expect to have a great season or players to look out for, like you were saying, Jessie Ayers, small college. No one paid much attention to her. In her sophomore year, she was a second-team All-American her sophomore year. No one's talking about this girl. Junior year, she scored 13 goals in 21 games, so she can score. Nice little attacking midfielder. You think she'll get a lot of playtime, Danielle, Jessie Ayers, or they'll find a way to get her out there?
I hope so. Because I've heard so many great things about her. And I mean, we are going to be needing more people there in the mid to help, keep up during the cup. So hopefully she gets some time because I think she could be that hidden gem this year. So.
Well, there's Casey Clark too as well.
Oh yeah, Cassie from Missouri, right? I don't know. You might be right.
Yeah, she's from Missouri. All SEC for her team and NCAA, blah blah blah. So.
All right, Tala, which players do you expect to have a great season for FCKC, or who should we look out for?
I'll definitely, like I said before, Sarah Hagan. I think she's gonna have a double figure season goals, and so is Tim Reck.
I think so too. Yeah, you're right about that. I think the whole thing, like I said, with Hagan, it's going to be really about if she gets her playing time, and she will get a lot of it early on. So it'd be nice she's getting consistent play time, getting the groove, and I guess she'll score a lot of goals. Danielle, are there any other players you think we should look out for, or something that we?
I think you've named them. I think those young players, because our coaches Vladko and Hugh, they're really great at shaping young players, especially local talent. We've talked a lot about Shay. She's a local girl, and I think she's going to make a big impact. I think she's worked with some of our coaches in her youth career, so
nice.
I think it's going to be good.
Very nice. Yeah, I just can't wait to see Shay play. I think that's just, I don't know, that's a player I feel like it's just, oh man, I don't know. It was just weird to see that it was naturally they got her. I was like, just the rich getting richer. Still, like I said, Tim Reck, she'll probably have another good season. She usually, like I said, always very crafty, good with the ball. Maybe if she takes it to the next level, and then now looking forward with, I'm considering a national team clear out, she'll get some call-ups.
Yep.
Maybe she'll get some call-ups, and she stays healthy all season. I expect to see from her. This is a big thing we kept seeing here and there for some of the fans. News of Lauren Holiday and A-Rod considered retirement. Tala, what are your thoughts on this sad news?
It's definitely sad, but it's something that is gonna happen sooner or later. So you really just gotta be ready for it. And I'm just looking forward to the new people coming in, because less people gone. I mean, more people gone means more players coming in, which is exciting. But as well, it's still sad. You gotta look at the positives, I guess.
Krista, how do you feel about the Holiday and A-Rod rumors of retirement?
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's gotta happen eventually. It's really quick though. I mean, they both still have quite a few years, I feel like, of playing ability. Um, but yeah, it does have to happen sooner or later, and they have plenty of talent that they can pull from the youth pools, so or whatever, under 23s. So
Danielle,
it'll be interesting.
how do you think it'll affect you guys on a club level? How do you think they're retire if they retire?
Well, it definitely. I mean, Lauren's the part of the heart and soul of this team. It's not surprising to anyone who kind of has been around the team. The news of Lauren. I kind of heard the first rumors about a year, 9 months ago. She's a big family person, and the schedule's tough on those national teamers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it especially last year was rough, and her schedule and her husband's schedule don't really line up too well.
Yeah.
So it's got to be rough. I know that family is the most important thing to her. So I still hope that she reconsiders and stays forever. But I respect it, and it's the best thing for her. I was actually surprised by the A-Rod thing, but I shouldn't have been. I just had never heard rumors. But her son is he's about 1.5 now. He's 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
He's young. They live in California, so
Yeah.
I was shocked, but I'm not surprised. So hopefully she stays a little longer. But you gotta focus on family too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It seems like with like you said with Holiday, her schedules with Drew just doesn't match up at all with his season and then her season, and it's just like I guess I could understand it because if it's family, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And
so.
her and Drew are really adorable. So
it's just a little bit of insider information for you guys right there. If you didn't already know it, go check them out.
You should become a Pelican fan just for Drew. Basically, he's good people. So.
That's low-key what I did.
Yeah, Loki's amazing too.
Let's see. Well, on that note, it threw me off. I had something I was gonna say. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say. They're pretty. It's sad news. I still consider them two top players, good players. They still. I felt like you said, Chris. They still have a lot of good years left in them. And we're a year removed from that amazing season A-Rod had. So if she leaves, we're just like, oh man, she had something still left in the tank. Holiday's still a top midfielder, but like I said, if they leave, we can't really fault them. So they got to do what they got to do. Like I said, especially if A-Rod the kid and stuff too. She's missing out a lot of years with living with family back in California. But here's what we all been waiting for. What will this team look like in 2015 with this lovely World Cup that's cutting right in between it? And then we'll have almost like a tale of two teams. So we'll start with you, Krista. What do you think the outlook for this team that will be something at one part of the season and something in another part of the season? What do you think they're going to be like?
I mean, yeah, they're losing, 5 U.S. allocated players, so I feel like that'll definitely have a big impact. But also, I feel like we've been saying, they have a lot of little hidden gems, in there that will hopefully get a chance to shine and, show us what they're all about. So I'm definitely hopeful for them this season. I think they could have a really, really good year.
Tyler, what do you think of this team will look like? I guess you could say first half of the season or just the whole season and in general.
I don't really see a big difference coming in when the players leave, just because there's so much young talent on the field. But it also is a big problem that they have when you bring a lot of U.S. team players in. They're good players, but you're gonna miss them a lot because of the national team call-ups. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. I think they'll be at least the top 3 team going in. I mean, at the end of the season, but we'll see how it goes.
I think so too, and that was the one big thing that I really looked at with them, that they have so much young attacking talent. Like what is it, Silva, Groom, Hagan, and Timrek, and Ayers. So it's just even without national teams, they're still going to be attacking and like putting in goals. I feel like Danielle, give us an overview of your team. Tell us what they're really going to be like.
I think it's going to be a challenge, possibly, especially your captain's out, without Becky, without Lauren. I think the biggest problem. I think they're going to be fine when they're gone. I just worry about chemistry a little bit. You take players out, put them in. How do they work on the field? Because I mean, last year we did have some chemistry issues too. The one loss that I don't acknowledge, that game never happened, was because of the chemistry thing. But we have a lot of veterans that are going to be there the whole season. You have Barney, who is going to be there. You have Amy Littleorbit. You have all of these players who really, Liz Bogus is a veteran, and then you have Rebecca Moros coming in, Avra Bush. So hopefully those veterans are able to help the young players with the chemistry and really keep it going all season.
Yeah, definitely, and I feel the same way. Like I said, hopefully the young players keep it going, and then I just feel like if you inject those, if they all come back, Holly and them, like, oh, we're not going to retire, we're going to come back and win another championship. They will win another championship. Yes, I just said it here first, so you can hate me if you want. Let's go see if we got any questions real quick. Any questions on the Twitter or the Tumblr, Miss Krista?
All I've seen is somebody said they couldn't join to watch on YouTube. So, but that's pretty much it. And then somebody comment on, the new faces on the show. So.
Oh, okay. The new faces. Yeah. New people are here and there everywhere.
Yeah, so I don't know why this person can't join, but.
Okay. My bad,
yeah. Settings are all.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish we had technical help. He's gonna pop in a second, I guess, for you. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go with let's talk a little bit about Timmy. My favorite thing to talk about because I just, like I said, one of my favorite players, just by far, just talent, just I don't know, oozing out of the pores. I think we could talk about her not receiving call-ups. What was the last one she received from Sermani, I believe it was, and then
I think so.
Yeah, 2013 was it?
Yeah, and then after that, she's never even touched a USA jersey unless she was at like a Foot Locker. So it's just like, what do you think, Tala, about Timmy not receiving call-ups?
I think I don't know, because it's hard to know what Ellis is doing in her head, because you really can't find the logic, but I know there's a logic in there that you have to. But all I can say is she did have a underperforming season last year, so that might have been the reason. But if she comes in, she'll definitely show everyone why she deserves it, because she definitely does deserve it.
Krista, what do you think of the non-Timmy U.S. women's national team?
Well, what did we figure out? We ended up, I don't know.
Like I said, it was like, what, two caps, I believe, and like one goal? And...
Yeah, I don't know how much truth there is to this, but, I heard that, she definitely deserves more national team time. But I think, you and I ended up figuring out that if she gets any more call-ups, they'll have to offer her a contract. So I don't know how much that plays into it, just with Ellis and her crazy call-ups. So.
Well, see, now you're going to get us in trouble again for U.S. Soccer. They already don't like us, but now you're telling their dirt.
I'm just stating facts. So.
Danielle, how do you feel about her not getting call-ups?
Well, I've heard the contract thing too. I won't lie. Obviously disappointed. I think she's shown she can score for the U.S. I think she's shown she can do some, great things. She's fun to watch. She's talented on the ball. I can't really make the comparison I want to make because you guys would get a lot of hate mail if I said that. But
Do it.
So don't get me wrong. I love Tobin, but I think she's, she has that craft that Tobin has, but she's consistent and doesn't make as many mistakes. Please don't kill me. Tobin fans.
You're saying, yeah?
Yeah, she a little better at the follow-through, so I think that's, she's fun to watch. She just makes some great moves. She's a figure skater out there sometimes, back from her figure skating days. I mean, my favorite GIF on the internet is her backwards nutmeg during the semifinal last year.
Oh, that was sick, that one, yeah.
I can watch it all day. the defender is now a FCKC player, so that's a little awkward, but she's fun to watch, and I think she can do some phenomenal things. So hopefully in the next cycle, people start retiring and we focus on 2019. Hopefully she'll be in the picture.
Yeah, she's like a gift waiting to happen, I almost call it, because it's like
Yep.
there's so many of them. I think is there one where I think you posted, Krista, where she went through the legs, like just took off. She always hits that second burst and just hit a rocket or whatever.
Against the dash, I think it was.
Yeah. And that was just like, oh my goodness! Like every time I watch it, something sweet's gonna happen, and that's why it's like I love players that are good on the ball. Like I love a good infielder, person that can play on the wing that's great on the ball. So it'll be good to see her. I'm gonna receive all that hate mail for the Tobin thing, so I'm ready.
I'm sorry. I like Tobin, but I think she has a lot of those qualities. Maybe a little better on the follow through, but.
And
well, yeah, I was thinking that too with the, there's a gif of, I don't think it was one you were talking about, but the little backheel goal against, I think, Guatemala, and everyone, like, thinks it's really sweet and, like, loves it, and it is really sweet, but, like, sometimes I wonder about how much hate she would receive if she, like, because she has a tendency to miss things like that, so.
Oh, a little bit too much flair for the people.
She gets a little too fancy and ends up, screwing up sometimes. So I think she needs to kind of take it down a notch in certain games, at least important games. So
I hear you. I love those type of players. I mean, when it comes to a player, it's like that because when they're just like that, I'm like, take your chances because when it does come off and you actually get past someone, you're usually just wide open because they're sitting there in shock, But I understand what you're saying, and I'm still worried about the whole Tobin hate. Oh, shoot.
You're going to get it. I'm sorry.
I'm going to get it again. Last week was Flash. All right, now.
I'm not going to repeat my username because I don't want the non-hate.
I'm glad they don't follow me on Tumblr, a lot of these people, so that's good. I usually just catch it on Facebook, because that's like my forum that I usually run for the group, so that's where I get all my action at. All right, guys. Now, this is one that they might not even have one, but what team do you think could pose the biggest challenge for a repeat for FCKC? Let's go with, we'll go Tala again. Who do you think would be the biggest challenge? Seattle Reign.
That's actually what I was about to say. But,
Yeah.
I'm going to switch it up and say Dash.
All right, yeah.
Just because of all the new players they brought in. And they've been, I don't know what, like, they brought a lot of players that I've seen on other teams not doing well, but what I see from them, I see a lot of stuff they can do well together. And I'll just enter and see how they do.
Yep, you're right about that. And you notice, like last week, a lot of us are very high on them because it looked like you said they brought in so much, and if the chemistry clicks with them, they're going to be a threat. They are definitely going to be a threat next year. Krista, who do you feel could be the biggest challenge to a repeat FCKC season?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Dash, Seattle Reign. I think, actually, I don't know, Chicago is losing a lot of allocated players during the World Cup, but they are also a team that has, had to deal with losing a lot of allocated players due to injuries and other things. And, their chemistry last year was pretty good. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they do. I don't know if I would, bet on it, on them making it, into the top 2 or 3, but I think they could have a good run.
All right, Danielle, who can knock you off your perch?
As much as I hate to say it, I think Seattle. Sometimes I like to give Seattle a hard time. But I think Seattle's going to be a great team this season. I mean, they've brought in a lot of talent. They're obviously losing. They won't have hope during the Cup and all that. But, the fact that they have Kim Little and Fish, it's going to be scary. They're going to be scary good during the Cup, after the Cup. So hopefully we beat them again this year. But I think they're definitely going to be a tough team.
Yeah, and like you say, Kim Little was amazing. I remember I was saying even before she came, I was like, Kim Little's going to be tearing it up at Arsenal. Ladies, wait until you guys see her. She came, tore it up. She won MVP. So I was right about that. So I feel good about myself personally.
Well, didn't they steal a bunch of well, maybe not. I thought they ended up stealing a bunch of, maybe it was last year, of Spirit players, but
Who did? You're talking about
maybe I'm thinking of Dash. I don't know. I thought Seattle was kind of screwing with Spirit this year, but
I
know
think the
Dash
Flash got them. The Flash got like 3 Spirit players, I thought.
Well, didn't the Dash too, though? I thought Dash got quite a few because they
Yeah.
have Oaks, right? They got Oaks.
Oaks, yeah.
I don't know
I can't
who
remember.
else. I'd have to look it up.
Mhm.
Well, don't worry, you got time. Check for any questions real quick while you do that, and I guess I will get ready to say the special thank yous to people while you're checking. Let's see who we got for special fan shout outs real quick while I'm doing this. Kalia Tucker, I like to say thank you because when I was speaking to you not too long ago, is something happening? Looks like something's happening. No, I disappeared, didn't I?
I still see ya.
Okay, I disappeared on my own screen. Kalia Tucker, thank you. You gave us a shout out when we needed it. We appreciate it. Who else do we have? Taylor Pitts. She was real nice enough to tell us how she enjoyed the show and everything. You know, she said like she's really liking all the different topics we're going over. Yeah, if you guys have any topics you want us always to talk about, definitely come in and just speak to me on any of the social media. Who else are we got right now? Sabrina Beach, one of the Flash fans. Yeah, you Flash fans last week. You told me how you really felt, but in a decent way. And I have to say I appreciate actually talking to you. You gave me a different view of your team, so I appreciate that. Let's see who else. 1 second, someone's trying to get in right now. Who else? Woso Soccer 16. She gave us a big nice shout out, so you guys thank her. She's been a big fan of the show, and she's been like here or there trying to help us out. And I guess we could thank the Blue Crew. Thank you for joining us, or being a representative of the Blue Crew, Danielle, and joining us. And right now we're trying to get a Flash fan in here, so I'm burning time. And
I did pull up the Dash roster if you want to go over that.
Yeah, do that, because I'm just trying to. Because she said she's coming in, and
Okay.
and I'm just thanking everyone I could think of off the top of my head at this point, because that was all I had. Let's thank Rulio, because he's a nice guy, and he will be back next week. Oh, yeah, that's what I could talk about next week while I'm just BSing you guys. Next week is the U.S. Women's National Team Week, so it's not going to be a team spotlight. We'll go over that. Isn't it the friendly against New Zealand?
New Zealand.
Yep. New Zealand fans have actually been talking to us and telling us that we need to look out for New Zealand because they said they're nothing to mess with. We'll go over, after the game, we'll be right on because I think the game is like at 3 or 2:30.
I think it's 2:30 because I'm going, so I need to figure that out. So.
Okay.
You
So
should probably get on that.
Yeah, I got my ticket somewhere. It says the time.
cool. We'll watch the game, and then like right after the game, we're gonna jump on. So it's gonna be hot in our heads. The Jill Ellis playing style of 1,000 long balls and stuff. So we'll complain about that for a bit. We'll talk about some other things. Talk about some UCL stuff, and we'll take it from there. Have you been able to pull up that Dash roster yet? Or?
Oh yeah, I've had it.
All right, go for it.
I think from the Spirit, what they have crossed. Forgot about Nikki Cross, Stephanie Oaks. I don't remember, was Avant ever? Or no? I don't remember where.
She Boston?
Yeah, they took her from somewhere. And then also McCarty, obviously, that was a while ago. It was really bad. Yeah, okay. Feedback. So,
yeah, I'm not a mute now. I'm sweet. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really,
That's fine. I mean, you don't have to guess anymore,
Yeah, Ojai and, Mazer, Stephanie Roach. So, yeah, they'll be a good team to watch this season, definitely. So, I don't know. I didn't like them at first, but they're definitely growing on me and quickly becoming one of my top teams. So.
Cool. Stop watching the video. You're in the video now, so we're getting the feedback. You're part of the show. Let's see if she will stop doing that. Okay. Well, she's figuring that out. I will tell you what we're about to do. So last week, we got a lot of lovely, lovely Flash fans that wanted to message me and talking about how we ripped the team for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm supposed to apologize, I guess, but I won't. So, and the nice thing I thought to do, because you guys did make up a lot of good points and stuff. Like I said, Sabrina, for what you were saying, it really brought to realization. I was like, hey, why don't we get Jen right here, and she'll represent you guys a little bit, with less profanity, and and we'll actually have an open forum about why you guys think the Flash will perform better than I guess we gave them credit for. So let's see if Jen is ready. Jen, are you ready?
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think we can. We all can hear her,
huh? All right.
All right, Jen, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't know why camera's not coming in. Honestly, I don't. But I can't hear you.
You can't hear us, but your camera's not coming in. So you're just like the natural non, because I only know you as a non, no matter what.
Alrighty.
Okay. So go on about your Flash. Tell us why the Flash actually will perform, and we'll tell you why we don't think so, or we do think so. You never know. You might change some minds right now.
Okay, well, first I want to make a comment on Kansas City. I've been listening to you guys talk about, why they're so good, why and all that. The one thing that really keeps me from picking Kansas City as a top, to repeat is the defense. They have some good players on defense, but there's not a lot of depth on the defense. So if there's injuries, whatnot, they could be in trouble there. And the reason why I point that out is Kansas City historically has not played well when they're trailing in a match. They don't trail that often. They're usually good about not falling behind. But when they do, every time they've fallen behind in a match, they've ended up losing. They've never come back to get points when they're falling behind. Compare that to Seattle, who was, they would fall behind, they would end up, coming back to get points, get draws, get wins, whatever. Kansas City doesn't do that. They've never done that. That's probably my biggest concern, is that would probably keep them from becoming a top 3 team. Don't know. You can disagree with that, or
it definitely. I think there's some depth issues in defense for sure.
Okay. Well, see, no one disagreed with you, because I guess it's just obvious. So, thank you for that, Jen. We jumped in that real quick. We appreciate it.
Sorry, it was just something that struck me with watching Kansas City the last 2 years. So anyway, going back to the Flash. Yes, they've had a ton of turnover. As of today, there are only 4 players left from 2014. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. But they've had, so far this preseason, they've had two scrimmages. They had a game against West Virginia 2 weeks ago, and then today they just played Syracuse. The West Virginia game, a 4-0 win. Today Syracuse, they won 8-1. Yes, it was 8-1. They had a couple of it was I can't actually go see the games because I live about 10 hours away from Buffalo and Rochester, but I've been talking to some people who were there. They said the midfield was strong, defense cohesive, looked good, goalkeeping, not really any problems. Service from the flanks was good. Samantha Mewis, by far best player on the pitch. Kristen Edmonds was looking good. Can play left back, left or right mid. They've got some really strong young players. Got a couple of internationals who are unknown, but from what they only played today, what they saw, they look good. They got some veterans. Becky Edwards looks strong. Amber Brooks looks strong. The rookies, like I mentioned, Mewis, also Dahlkemper. Hinkle had some apparently some really good services. And then Williams didn't play today. She's back at school at Pepperdine's, probably going to be there till early May. She looks speedy. Jasmine Spencer, I think, is probably a player that's going to have a breakout year. Looked fast. Played in Australia in the off season and carried a rather mediocre Sydney team into a postseason, scoring the majority of their goals. I think she is probably a player that will benefit from Abby Wambach's absence. When she did play last year in Abby's absence, she made things happen, was strong, dynamic. Is probably going to get a lot more playing time now that Abby's decided to essentially take her ball and go home.
Well, you told us how you really felt about her. It's all right. Tala,
no.
how do you feel about the Flash this year?
I think they'll definitely be better than they were last year. I still don't see a big improvement coming, just because I haven't seen like any big changes. But I think Amber Brooks, she's a beast in the midfield. If they use her right, she'll definitely hold it down. And from the defense, with Whitney Engen in the back, they'll be pretty strong. As she said, Jasmine Spencer, I saw a little bit of her, and she did look pretty strong in Australia. So they have a lot of good talent. I just don't know how it's going to gel yet. As all the team in NWSL are, you don't really know what you're going to get until you see it, just because a lot of changes are happening. So I'm just happy to see.
Krista, you weren't in on I guess they call it the bludgeoning of the Flash last week. So what do you think they'll look like this year?
I think they definitely have some decent players on their team, but I agree it's kind of all up in the air as far as chemistry goes. We won't really know until we see them. Same with every team. So, but we did have a lot of people. On Twitter, I think we had 2 or 3 people talking about Sky Blue this year and how they think that they're going to have a good run for the championship. So, just throwing that out there.
Don't worry,
Sky Blue. A few minutes ago, but.
Yeah, Sky Blue fans, we're going to have an episode for your team, too. We're going to do every episode, so you'll definitely get your voice. Talk to me, if you sound like you know a little bit what to talk about, we might throw you on here if you're a big supporter that gets to go to games. So, good to hear that. Danielle, what did you think of the Flash? What do you think they'll look like this year?
Well, first of all, sorry, Jen, I have to apologize. I don't know enough about your team to really have a lot of great opinions. With that said,
it's cool. It's cool.
With that said, I like Samantha Mewis, and I think that she can. I hope she has a breakout season because I think she's really talented. And you guys had a great draft. You basically had the first round to yourself, which is fun. So I think you guys are gonna have a good season, and I hope you do because no matter what you feel about Abby, I think the fans deserve it. I think the fans deserve a good season because you guys are passionate. So. You deserve better than maybe you've gotten. I'm not talking about this show, but in general, these last couple weeks, when the whole thing with Abby broke. So I think the fans deserve a good season.
Yeah, and what a lot of.
Let's not get into the Abby thing.
But you guys deserve better than how it happened. How's that?
Yes, I think what pissed a lot of fans off was the timing of it. If she had said right after the season or before the draft, I'm not playing this year, they could have found another player to give that allocation spot to. Yeah. They could have found Aaron Lyons could have had more time to prepare for the draft, maybe drafted a player that he wasn't thinking about to cover for that. But since she waited till after the draft and apparently up until the day before she announced it, they were still working on getting her back, but she just said, no, I'm done with this. I'm not playing this season. I want to focus on the World Cup. But I do think one more point. I'm sorry.
Go for it. It's your show. It's your world. I'm just living in it. Go for it. Go for it.
The one thing I think could hurt them, not during the World Cup, is before it, is I am a massive fan of Carly Lloyd. She is by far my favorite player. She's been my favorite player for years. She had a huge she was big for them the past 2 years. That's going to be harder. That production is going to be hard to replace. I think Mewis in time can replace it, but replacing that right away is going to be a challenge.
Oh, okay. All right, your host is back. What's up, homies? And Jen, you'll get your chance to say more in the Flash episode, you know. So that's why I was trying to cut you off, because I knew you were about to go off on us.
Sorry.
It's fine. I said it was your rebuttal and you had an open forum, but I knew that we can give you more time. Other than that, I think we are all clear to end this madness, aren't we? Let me thank people. Thank one of our newer panelists that will be on more. Tala, thanks a lot for coming on for your first episode. Yeah, you'll definitely be back, like I said, for women's national team games and other things of that. Thank Krista again for being back. We'll thank Jen right here real quick for being that Flash fan that actually spoke for all of you guys. We appreciate it. So now I guess you guys kind of like me now a little bit. No, they still hate me. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. And it's big thanks to the spotlight was on your team. So let's thank Danielle, guys. Everyone give her a round of applause. Yay! For actually being on and giving us some good spirit. Yeah, I mean not spirit. Sorry. Giving us some big FCKC news and stuff, because we really appreciate it, and we're always glad to have a fan and real support of the team on. Other than that, guys, this is the wrap up. So I'm your host. You can follow us on Tumblr. You can follow us on Facebook. You can tweet us on Twitter. Don't be mad at me, Tobin fans. I'm so sorry.
I already got one and
Don't
on.
be mad at me either. I
got one on.
Let them hate.
I'm the face of the hate, so I'll take the hate. It was nice dealing with you. Next week, look out for us, because right after the U.S. Women's National Team show, game, as I said, we will be back on. We'll probably have the same panelists you're used to. We might have a special guest. Who knows if Jen pops up again? Who knows? All right, guys, take it easy and have a good day.